Highlighting is one of the biggest traps in NEET-PG and INICET preparation. It feels like studying, but it's actually fake study that kills your retention. And if you are still covering your notes with yellow highlighter and underlining every single point with pen, you're setting yourself fail. In this video, I'm going to show you why highlighting is a waste of time. I'm Agniv Roy Chaudhary, a second year MBBS student from ESIC Joka, and I'm documenting my journey to getting AIR 1 in NEET-PG and INICET 2029. My Marrow QBank scores are consistently above 80%, and everything I share comes from real lessons I'm learning in real time and not some recycled topper advice that you can find everywhere else. First, I'm going to cover memory loss. Then I'm going to cover show off, and in the final point I will give you the solution to this problem, and instead of highlighting what you can do and thereby dominating Marrow QBank. But before I start, let me tell you a story. So this was a few months into my second year journey, and I have been preparing seriously for NEET-PG and INICET preparation for I think 2-3 months now. And during this time, I saw all of these big YouTubers preaching this one technique, that if you're seeing the video, then and there you should have the notes open. And while you have the notes open, as the teacher is speaking to you, you should take your pencil or pen, whatever you prefer, you should underline everything and then highlight the points that you think are important. Now I used to follow them, everything as they said. And what I did is I was watching Dr. Preeti Sharma ma'am's video on inflammation. And now the video was very long. I remember it was around 2 minutes, 2 hours long. By the time I could complete whole of this process, it would easily take me 4 to 5 hours. But I still thought, okay, maybe these big YouTubers have some point, that maybe it will help me retain more. I will remember everything more in detail and I can answer questions in the QBank more thoroughly. But there is only a few problems with this. Number one, it was a it took massive fucking amount of time to complete. In one single day, when I had planned that maybe I will do inflammation and then I will also start autoimmune disorders, I could only do half of inflammation because it was taking so much time. And second, the main problem that I had, that this having better retention, you will know everything, you will remember, is a fucking lie. Because in the QBank performance, I was not performing that well. I was still getting around 50-55% questions correct. And the worst thing is, due to having such a long time to finish one lecture, I was not even able to attempt the QBank in many cases. So the most important thing that will actually get me rank in the future, I was not able to do. And this brings me, the reason I told you this story brings me to my first point, which is memory loss. Now, why the hell I'm talking about memory loss in the section about highlighting your notes? You see, I will explain to you why this highlighting notes increases your retention and having better memory is a lie. Let me explain with an analogy. Let's say I have transported you through a time machine to just few hours before the prof. And during those time, I said you have only 4 hours to study whatever something that is going to come in the exam. At that time, what will you do? Even if someone is not prepared, they will try to remember what the previous year questions have asked, and they will try to remember it and then say it in the exam, write in the exam. Do you know what you will not do during those time? You will not fucking highlight. You will not highlight because you know that highlighting is not help you remembering. You will try to mug up everything by speaking it aloud or active recall as they call nowadays, or writing it down. You will not try to highlight the notes because you know it does not work. I have a friend in my college who every single day, I still remember, he is doing it from the first year. He takes this book, any book you can say, and what he does is takes and highlights every single fucking line. And he does it for 1000, 2000 pages and for every single subject. But the problem is he isn't even able to cross 55% in his exams. I keep telling you that why I do keep highlighting this. You should try to remember it instead of highlighting. No, 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 it works. You don't know. Also, in this point, I want to also explain to you how memory works. In this, our MBBS, there is a culture of consuming more and more and more and more. If you don't understand from this teacher, change the teacher. If you don't understand this from the source, if you can't answer the questions, maybe it is not because it is not detailed that much. That's why you are not able to answer. And we keep on reading books after books, then videos, then lectures, then clinics, and this. At the end of the day, there you have not even the basic concept that is clear. Memory does not work this way. Our brains are forgetful machines. We have been made in this way that we forget 95 to 99% of the things that are there in our brain. Otherwise, we won't be able to function. Our brains need a reason to remember the things. And these memories are like chains. Our memories are like chains. If you want something to stick in your brain, if you want something to stick in your brain, you have to give some reason for it to remember it. And you know what is the worst way for the brain to remember it? Highlighting. And you spend so much time doing the thing that doesn't even give you any result. Why haven't you questioned it? That the thing I'm spending so much time that it is almost equivalent to half of the lecture time. Why I'm spending it? If it is not benefiting me at all, just because some big YouTuber says it will benefit you. Now, the next point that I have, it's show off. Before that, let me show you how I used to do my notes back in the day. This is the infamous inflammation chapter I keep talking about. It's the inflammation. See how much I have highlighted. I even took screenshots from the video that ma'am was teaching me, and then this. I don't know if you can properly visualize it, but it is more like I'm trying to summon a demon from hell instead of trying to learn it. Now you would say that if he has spent so much time highlighting this video, then he must also have crystal clear concept about this. And the thing is, I did not. I fucking did not. It was still the same of only remembering 50% after the next day and only scoring maybe 40% or 50% current in the QBank. Now, in MBBS, we have this insane show off culture. Everything has to be a show off. Right from the thing we are reading, we have to read the standard books, we have to have the best instruments at our disposal, or we are not going to be a good doctor. We have to know everything from the start. We have to diagnose every single disease. We have to know every single syndrome. Like in MBBS, there is, if you are not doing perfectly, you are not doing anything. I hate this mentality. I cannot tell you. This is the mentality that is killing progress. Perfectionism is the number one killer of your progress. No, things have to be perfect. I read all the subjects and everything, then I will do the QBank, then I will do this, then I will do this. You know what? It will never be that way. Stop pretending and knowing that in the future you will have more time to do things. Things are only going to get worse and worse, and you will have less and less time. There is no perfect fucking time, there is no perfect fucking resource, there is no perfect teacher. And for the love of God, please move from input based study to output based study. This kind of show off that I showed to you was input based study. It didn't have any particular output. I was just pleasing myself, thinking, oh, I have spent 5 hours in this topic, then I will be the master of inflammation. No, it does not work that way. It never has. From now on, as I keeps shouting in my videos, you remember this thing. I will do what is required. If this requirement have to make me read standard books, I will read the standard books. If that requirement has to make me read the notes, I will read the notes and do the QBank. I will do and take the most efficient and effective paths towards my success. I don't fucking care who says what is required. I don't care about these seniors, these professors, and other YouTubers. I will do what is required. And finally, point of dominating Merocuban. Now, you must be thinking that, okay, I understand all of your points, but what is the solution? The solution is actually very simple. In the analogy I gave you about that, if you only had 3 hours before your prof exam, what you would do? You would try to spend most of your time on the material, focusing on it and trying to remember and recalling it again and again. So do the fucking thing from the first day itself. First of all, please do not, I mean, I say this with certainty, that do not read the notes while seeing the video. No, you are not going to understand what is being spoken in the video, and at the same time you will not be able to read the notes. So stop doing it. After that, what I want you to do is keep the video full screen, watch the video. After you have completed the video, I have understood the basic concept, while reading the notes, just go through them. Go through the notes point by point, and the points that the teacher has emphasized, I want you to do like this. Instead of highlighting, let's just say you are reading inflammation. In the inflammation, maybe ma'am has very importantly emphasized the cellular events of inflammation, like margination, those kind of things. Now, instead of highlighting, what I want you to do is this. In the point that the teacher has emphasized, spend a little bit more time thinking about it, trying to remember it. Okay, so ma'am said the cellular events of inflammation. So what I do, I remember the cellular events. It is M rat cop. Okay, margination, rolling, adhesion. Okay, I understand there are about 6 to 7 steps, and then you try to correlate it with the other part of the topic that she has taught. Okay, in what step, what mediator is involved, and how I remember and correlate it. Spend more time thinking. Instead of doing this, do this. Okay, okay. After doing it for every single step, complete the note and then attempt the QBank. I know that it is sounding like I'm saying something crazy to you. And I believe me, I know. Because in the NEET UG days, I had my NCRT and I used to underline and highlight every single point. And it was a real shocker to me when I got to know about this also. But believe me, make the change and you will be so thankful that you did. After doing it, after making the change from it, my Marrow QBank scores went from around 50 to 55% correct on a very good day to regularly getting more than 80% correct on most days, and even getting in some QBanks 90 to 95% correct. Because you have to understand this common thing. I was doing active study. From this point on and in future, I will talk a lot about passive and active study. And the basic concept is, the more passive you study, the less results you are going to get. It doesn't fucking matter if you sit for 10-12 hours. You will not beat the person who is studying for 2 hours with active effort for study. The study that you are doing needs to make you work so hard. Cognitively, I am telling you that you will feel tired after doing it. If you are not feeling cognitively challenged, that, oh, this is difficult, I have to think about all the steps of inflammation and relate it back with the first step, first part of the note that ma'am taught. This is difficult. But this is the difficulty. This is the difficulty that will make things stick in the long term. Otherwise, you are not going to remember everything. And in terms of retention, even without highlighting, even completely leaving highlighting, I can now remember much more than before. Even after 1 2 months after seeing the video, if some friend of mine asks some concept from the chapter, I can answer it. Maybe the details have, maybe I have forgotten, but the basic concept and the thing I remember very much, very clearly. Also, do you know how much stress I used to feel while doing this highlighting? That every single point I have to highlight. Otherwise, if I miss that single point, whoa, if I miss that point, how am I going to, if it comes in the exam, I'm not going to answer it. Do you think in the hunter-gatherer days, when we had to hunt for our food, people used to write, oh, you see that board over there? You see that mammoth? Oh, have you read? Have you revised it? Have you highlighted the notes I gave you? No. They used to keep all the information they had in their head. They used to know every single forest, every single fruit that is poisonous or non-poisonous, and every single weak point of the mammoth where they should hit it with a spear to kill it. They didn't write notes, and it has been for thousands and thousands of years. Our brains are like a super machine, and by using this highlighter, you are using a crutch. You are not using the superpower of your brain. You are intentionally making it more dumb. So what I want you to do after seeing this video is this. I know that it's going to be very difficult to unlearn this habit that you have developed from all this time, but what I want you to do is, if you are highlighting like me, like every single point and every single, no, don't do it. First see the video, then read the notes, and first leave underlining with pencil at bay. It's a crutch and it is not going to benefit you in the long run. Then what I want you to do, limit the amount of highlighting you do to only 5 single points. That no matter what I feel, only I will highlight 5 points. And over time, what I want you to do is even leave the highlighting the 5 points and completely focus on thinking and memorizing and thinking about the information on the points you feel important. Do this and you will see your performance skyrocket. Not only it will take you less time to do a particular lecture, you will remember much more and you will be much more confident in your ability in solving Q banks, and the score will be also very much higher. Well, in this video, I talked a lot about solving questions and dominating Q bank. Now, do you know, watching Maro videos is a waste of time for NEET-PG and INICET preparation if you do not do this one thing. And this trap has left many people damaged and they are able to not get through NEET-PG and INICET. So do watch this video next to know more. Keep grinding and I will see you in the next one.